Hello, 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 and welcome to Bloodlines and Bottom Lines, where we may be family, but we don't always agree. I'm DJ, your baby of the family.
I'm Lucifer. And I'm Ife, the Zillennial, the auntie of the crew. Alrighty, so today we're going over the Real Housewives of Rhode Island new series for the or new location for the series. And we're loving it. We're down for Rhode Island. We ain't never been. Might go. Won't do too much because it seems like, you spit too hard, everybody gonna know. But anywho, we're gonna talk about the ladies here. So episode 6 starts out with big news. Kelsey been on the fence about whether or not she want to keep. I'm calling him Moneybags. I don't know what name y'all got for her boo, but I'll call him Moneybags. If she gonna stay with Moneybags or Bill, it seems that they decided to call it quits. So was you surprised to find out that she went ahead and actually broke up with Moneybags?
Yeah, but no.
Pretty much.
Like,
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt like it's not really a shocker, but to the same degree, it's going to be quite an adjustment because when you're used to that supreme lifestyle and for so long, it's going to be very hard to get adjusted to you making your own money, living like regular,
like
pretty much.
going to work
So,
every day, she ain't gonna like that.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So I did wonder, and she kind of answers it later in the episode, but I was like, is he gonna give her a stipend or something? Because she gonna have to. It's kind of like when you addicted to something, how you kind of should wean. She kind of need to be weaned off. She can't be cut off cold turkey like she could, obviously, if there was some indiscretion or something like that. That's not the case. It seems like they decided, like, yeah, this isn't really what is in your best interest. So I agree. Let's part ways. So
Yeah.
I was hoping she would get some stipends or something to kind of carry her over. But she even said that she went from living with her parents to living with him. What y'all think about that? Because I'm guessing she's 30. Maybe she's not quite. She might be upper 20s. But how long did it take you to move out of your parents' house? How old were you?
I mean, well, technically, I still live there.
Well, not quite because you are paying the mortgage completely and your parents don't live there.
Yes, but that only happened a couple years ago. To be honest, I didn't move out my mama house. I was about to get in 26.
Okay. I would say in this day and age, I feel like that's not uncommon to be 25 and up, just because honestly, it's a lot harder. So I moved out of my mama's house technically when I went to college. I was
I was
like,
just ready to say you kind of went to
looking
school and
deuces.
never came back.
Peace. I'm out.
Now, me on the other hand, it's been a couple times. I was 17 the first time I left her. Like,
Yeah.
came back, left at 21, came back, left at 23, came back. Not there now, and that's all that
That's
matters.
right. That's right. So yeah, definitely. The two kind of along her journey, I too have technically never lived alone. I've always had someone else I've lived with. So I went from, of course, living at home to living in the dorm to moving in an apartment with my track mate and one of my good friends. We're still friends to this day. And our apartment at the time, just how far back in the day, was $425
Mm.
Oh, I wish.
for a townhouse, which had 1.5 bathrooms. Now the walls was paper thin, child. They breathed too hard next door, you was gonna hear it because we was on the south side. But it was only 420. So I only paid 225 because I had the bigger room, and she paid 200. Now we also were in school and working, so we needed to have cheaper accommodations, but you couldn't do that now. It would be very challenging. You would need to have like 4 roommates or 3 roommates to make that work now, I think. But anywho, I just wondered if y'all had any thoughts because I was like, she's kind of getting up there to just now be living alone.
Mhm.
All right. Then you have Rosie and her confessional. Moved along in the episode. Rosie and her confessional was talking about she was turning the other cheek with these girls. Like she just feels like they're kind of like ganging up on her and coming for her. And that Jesus would be proud. But I was like, I know what's melanated folk. We would have been like, well, Martin Luther King would have been proud. Not that Jesus wouldn't too. But that's who I think when I think of turn the other cheek. I don't think of Jesus right away. I think of
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. Like that's what I think of. But do you feel like she's being dramatic or like, yeah, they kind of have to kind of put her to the fire more times than is necessary? I'm talking about them versus Rosie.
I was
She
with
is
Rosie
being
the last episode. I ain't like that. Like,
Well, don't
I,
skip the seven. We staying on episode 6
no,
right
I'm
now.
still on episode 6. I ain't
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
All right. And so the other thing that came up too was Joellen was kind of recanting. They were, are they at the table here? They weren't quite at the table yet, but Joellen's kind of giving a little insight. And she was saying she felt like pretty much her sister was her parents' favorite child. So did either of you experience feeling like your parents had a favorite child?
Yeah.
And how did you get over it? I you over now. Look, I already knew when I asked this question. I was like, I have a feeling that somebody named Tifa was gonna have something to say, but that's partly why I asked it. All right, so when you I actually had that feeling too, but not with mommy. I had it with my dad. Feeling like that. So, how did you get over it? Or are you not over it yet?
well, honestly, I mean, I guess when school was done, I feel like I just didn't hear it anymore. I just got tired of the comparisons. Like, we are not the same person. Like, ain't never did nothing the same. I don't,
We
what are we
really
talking
did
about
it.
right now? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, to some degree, I can see now, and being a parent, how it's not intentional. Your first child does
Yeah.
set a precedence for your second child, and it's very hard not to compare because that is your only other experiences, this other kid you have. But I will say it's helpful to be cognizant of the words you're saying because you can be seeding some animosity there between the siblings that you're not trying to. But if you keep comparing me, I could feel some type of way against that sibling, and they don't got nothing to do with it. They just being them,
Yeah.
right? It's the parent who keeps comparing. Now you making me feel less than because, or however, because you keep comparing me too. And like you said, I'm not them. So stop having that expectation. We're two different people.
Yeah.
I know for me, I had to do that as well for my boys. It's like you were you and you were you. Now I have mentioned before, if grades are different, I'm gonna need your grades to get like this one's grades because this one's great. But I've done it with both of them for me personally. How about you, DJ? Did you ever have that feeling like one of your siblings was a little more favored over you with your parents?
Yes, but in different ways. And I
Okay.
did it for both of my brothers. So
Okay.
for my baby brother, I feel like my mama got real soft with him. And I'm like, I would never gotten away with that or let that even come out of my mouth the same way he does. And she ain't go upside it. I went to school with a busted lip before. So I'm like,
I ain't surprised.
oh,
I know your mama.
like she hit,
Auntie
and she
don't
didn't do it on
play.
purpose. She did not do it on purpose. She hit me, but she had a ring on, and she didn't realize she had a ring on when she did it. So by that point, the school bus was right there. She told me I better get I gotta get on the school bus. So that was that. So
Oh,
that was like with me and Torrance. It was like I was good. I was grown because me and Torrance we're 10 years apart. So
yeah.
I was good and grown, but I'm looking back like now, Ma, you would have never like no. But as far as
Yeah.
me and Torrance, not me and Torrance, me and Rudy, it was a lot with me and him because on my dad's side, So I'm different, everybody. Yeah, I'm the different one. I'm the one that I did all this stuff first and got into most trouble first, and they just knew not to do it after I did it. But with
They
me and
set the
my
precedent
father,
in the other way.
with me and my father, he was into the cars and into all of that, and my brother was, and he loved that. I'm not. Like my dad, yes, I can change a tire. Yes, I can change my oil if I have to because he showed me how to do it. Do I want to? No, I
Mhm.
don't. But I always felt like he favored him because my other brother took that interest and I didn't. But
Gotcha.
years later, come to find out, he had told me that wasn't the case. But I mean, how I feel, I felt like that was the case back then.
Actions speak louder than words, and words have a big place too, right? So it's both what you say and what you do. What you're saying is this, and what you're doing is this. Then if it's walking like a duck and talking like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah.
You could tell me you want a duck, that you was really a swan dressed in duck, but you was given duck behavior, so I called you a duck, and that's what I experienced. So
Right.
I think part of it is just you kind of got to get older. I think once you are a parent or in a parental role, in some cases that opens your eyes, and then you realize like, oh, it wasn't that. I think that happens sometimes, and I think some wounds are just hard to get over. Some parents, I think, have a lot of grievances to that child, and they make it hard. So I think she gets more into that. Oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit further down in the episode where Joellen gets a little bit deeper into what really was going on with her mama and her. So we'll get into that in a little bit. All right. Okay, I already said that. Did y'all love those vintage Rolls Royces that she got for the ladies to pull up in? Would you think that is chic, or like, what's this? Is a little too antique for you?
That was fire. I like if I could do prom over again, I would have pulled
Mm-hmm.
up in one of those. That was
Okay.
lit.
What about you, Tifa?
I don't remember it, honestly.
You wasn't checking for it? I like the
I
red
don't
one. I thought it
remember
was
that
really
part,
cool.
honestly, Chad.
When they pulled up to the castle, Liz had gotten those old school cars that were Rolls Royces. It was a blue one and a red one. But clearly it did not make an impression because you don't even remember. So they pulled up to this awesome castle. Apparently the Rhode Island castles or the castles in Newport are like a big deal. Oh, I see your new bag sitting up there, girl. I see it right in the back. I'm sorry, I peeped your background. I see it. I like it. Sorry. We went shopping this weekend and I see one of the new purchases sitting up there looking all nice. All right. So this property they had 29 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms. Wow, it's so many. Oh my God. I was like, each girl can have like 4 or 5 bedrooms each. It ain't but 6 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an experience to be had, but this like too big. It
Yeah.
seemed like it would feel a little creepy. And it's super old on top of that. And then y'all heard the story later on when they go in the Uber. No, we can talk about it now, where the guy was saying like he went
Oh
to school there
yeah.
and somebody hung themselves. So I'm glad I want to learn. I wouldn't want to know that period. Don't you tell me that. I'm sleeping downstairs by the front door.
And I
I
already
want to be
believe it
close.
too.
Well, because they already heard some sounds or something. Somebody said they heard some
Yeah.
giggling. Somebody said they heard some creaking or something. I'm like, not creaking, it's the old house. Now, who had to step it up a notch with the creepiness? Alicia did, her and these dolls. What y'all thought about them dolls she
Them
brought?
dolls
Because it
have
weren't the
always been
Bratz
creeping.
dolls.
Like
I said, where'd she get these dolls?
Yeah.
I think these are from her house. I was wondering why she had
those
that
the
big
ones
ass
that the
suitcase.
daughter couldn't play with.
Well, no, those was the Bratz ones. These must be the extra ones. I
Oh.
just was, yeah, these were like before American Girl type dolls.
Yeah.
I was just like, ooh, those look like the creepy dolls. I was just
And
like,
one of them broke the leg on one of them.
she just popped it right back on. But that's why I was like, did you think it was creepy or normal?
Creepy. Giving
Not to have
Annabelle.
lunch with them.
That part, and she had the little Brewster chairs for them. I was like, oh, that's different. Like I said, I don't mind the doll. Like I remember seeing my Cabbage Patch doll, and they were cute. And I wouldn't mind a cute Cabbage Patch doll now, but those dolls always look creepy. Like even fresh out the box, it's giving like old Chucky.
Like my sister still play with dolls. Like she got
Those
the
kind of
doll
dolls.
houses. They're like, but they like Barbies though.
Yeah, Barbie, I could have rolled with because Barbie would be cute, especially with dressing like a Barbie. I would have been down for that thing. This doll, it was a no. I was
Yeah.
just like, these dolls are just. Let this
I
be the last time we
hollered
see
when
dolls.
what was the girl? She was like, yeah, I had the Camp Rock doll in the
I think
what
that was
she say?
Ashley. Ashley said she
Ashley.
still has it.
I
Yeah,
I
she had a
say,
couple
girl,
of
me
them.
too.
Well, all right then. All right, what y'all think about the mask party? Did you think that was cool, or you thought it was like
I
a
liked
little
it.
too?
She read
Okay.
them. She was spot on with the readings of the girls. She was spot on with it.
She was. So who had the best one? You thought who had the best like looking mask?
That was the one with the red and black with the big feathers on it.
That
That
was
was lit.
Rosie.
Yeah, that was dope.
What about you, Tifa?
I like Liz Mass and Alicia's.
Okay, yeah, I love the Leisha's. Who was the worst mask? Well, you was like, what is that?
Ashley, because she can
Ashley,
breathe
that
in
was the one
hers,
that was
right?
covered all the way up from the
Yeah.
whole face covered.
Like now, so I did like the whole premise though. I like that she gave
Mhm.
you a mask, and the idea is like as you kind of unveil yourself with your story, you take the mask
It
off. I
was
think it was
cute.
really cool. Don't be surprised if I be pulling something like that out. I just telling you for the future because I copy good ideas. Now, I had said Joella's complaint makes sense because I didn't understand when she was saying it earlier what was going on with her mom. I was like, it doesn't seem like you said anything besides saying my mom didn't like me. It kind of just
Mhm.
seemed like she was being kind of petty boots about it until she explains it in this episode. And I'm like, oh, okay. No, I see why you're like, no, I think she just doesn't like me as a person. Did y'all, do you remember what happened when she said her mom did?
This the one where she sent her to boarding school.
No, it wasn't boarding school. She sent her to like, it sounded like an inpatient facility. She said the first time was in seventh grade
Oh yes,
or like rehab and the girl went on no drugs.
because they sent her home in a week because nothing was wrong with her.
So she went back another time for like 2 or 3 months to another type of like rehabilitation sort of place. Mind you, she said all she was doing was like being too frisky. So she was being a little thotty.
But she said she wasn't even doing nothing with them boys.
Yeah, she was just thought to be doing it. But the kicker was she said in ninth grade, she was at a facility that had like bad kids, like kids who were cutting people, stabbing people, murdering people, like bad kids for a year.
Oh
Where
yeah, I
her
remember
mom
that.
had to give up partial custody for her to stay there. And the only reason she got out is because they wanted her to give up full custody so that they could like really take over doing like I guess getting the check or doing something with her. And I was like, you done traumatized that child. That you put her in like jail or
For
called it
nothing.
boarding school. Now the favoritism part should have fell a little bit by the wayside, and maybe that's why her and her sister are fine because it sounds like the mama sent the sister too, at
Yeah,
least
Mhm.
she
one
did send.
time.
She sent both of them up there.
But that's crazy. For a year, could you imagine as a ninth grader being around all these people who you're thinking, I don't do none of the stuff these people do. Why I'm here with these people?
Be scared to
For a
shit. Like
year.
scared.
So I was like, this makes sense why you don't trust her with your kids. Because I wasn't getting it before. Was it
Yeah.
in like was it not clicking for you guys too?
And
Were
then
you
she
like,
would
what
say
is
certain.
the issue? I'm
The
like, oh,
mama
this.
would say certain stuff too that was like, oh no,
Well, it sounds like she has tried to bring it up with her mom, and her mom has been unapologetic. And I think that's the part that makes it very hard for healing as an adult is when part of you needs that parent to at least acknowledge. You don't even necessarily have to apologize. At least acknowledge, like, that was an effed up thing to do. You might not
Yeah.
feel sorry about it because you might stand by your I won't say rights, but stand by why you did it. But to act like I just pulled this out of the sky and it's not a truth, that would really pee me, because now you're trying to tell me like my reality is not my reality, and that's
Right.
some BS.
Yeah.
So I had just wondered, what you guys' take was on that. I was pretty shocked myself to hear like, oh, that's her story. All right. Now, what do we think about Alicia saying she was homeless because her dad sold the house they lived in and they went and lived with the grandparent for a while? I was just like, because I love that. I really asked
I
with
like
Liz.
Liz too.
Liz was like, girl, get the F out of
She
here.
said you
You
was
was
not
not
homeless.
homeless. Cut it out. I'm not going to let you say that. And Alicia was getting mad, like, Jumpy denying my truth. Your truth is faulty.
You were
I
never
mean, maybe
homeless.
when
You
you was
lived
a kid,
somewhere.
now that you're big grown age now, you should realize
Yeah.
you wasn't technically homeless.
Now, in their defense, the definition of homeless, they did
No,
technically
no.
qualify. They did not have their own home to reside in at the time. And she did say her and her mom were in that room together. So you could see what after a while it would be like, hold on, but we don't have a house to go to. What's up? But I still want to call it homeless. I would have just said what the facts were.
We
When I was
struggle a little bit.
younger, my dad sold our house with no warning and just didn't care what happened to us afterward, because that's the truth. But like you kind of are making it very dramatic. But saying we was homeless, girl, no, because the people who are really homeless, they're not checking for you saying that. It's like, cut it out. And then it sounded like Liz said her grandma had a really nice house too. So not only was you not homeless, the house you were staying in was pretty nice too. It's hard, like if you went to an apartment and it was 3 bedroom or something and 2 of the bedrooms was taken. That's a little different. You was in a big house too, girl, get out of here. Okay. So what I did love about this whole thing was, just how vulnerable they were. Like Liz opening up about her parents dying when she was so young, because she kind of alluded to it earlier, but I was like, oh, she was 12 when she got sick and she didn't pass her. She was 15. 15. Me and Tifa recently lost our mom, and I could not imagine being a teenager. And 14 is, I would say, almost even harder, because that's like, I mean, that's sometimes the time when y'all butt heads the most. But also, it's like when you're coming into like your womanhood too. So, like, it just would be just a very, I feel like, even more challenging time, because you ask questions when you're older. I can't imagine the questions you have when you're 15 and something like that happens, especially when they got sick. Like, so considering that, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Where she kind of has that like, stay back. I don't know if I want to really rock with you yet kind of vibe, and then might let you in if you giving chill vibes. Now, what I did not understand as everybody was opening up was what the H Ashley was crying about.
I hollered.
I was
I
like, what?
hollered.
When the Candace said, is she crying because she don't have nothing to cry about?
I said, bitch, please. I said, bitch, please. I know you didn't.
And what? You know that one day someone close to you is going to die. What? And you crying now about the future?
I
When we
rewinded
asking
it
you how
back
to
so I
get
could
to
hear it
know you,
again.
she is not repping VA well. I was excited at first. I was like, oh, she's from Virginia, girl. I'm about to hide that fact. Like, we do not act like that. So she is giving very much crybaby here of late. Like, what is going on with your face? Rosie's story did make a little sense too, with saying, why she's such a people pleaser, because she let people walk over her a little bit. I be want her to get a bit of a backbone. I
Yeah.
definitely want her to stand up to Kelsey, so we're going to talk about that here in a second. Actually, that was the next thing. Okay, so this is where we might have a divide. Are y'all team Rosie or team Kelsey for this backhanded compliment, but her being told she gave a backhanded acceptance of said compliment? Who you on? Team Rosie or Team Kelsey?
Who gonna take it?
I'll say mine after y'all go.
I'm on Team Rosie. That was a very much a backhanded compliment. What? Like,
What about
like
you,
what's
Tifa?
I said I'm on Kelsey's team.
Really? What makes you
Yeah.
say team on Kelsey's team? I'm Team Rosie too.
You know, Rosie is nice nasty. And every time she's in that confessional, it's always something shady about Kelsey. Always. Oh, you're a sugar baby. You got a sugar daddy. Oh, she said something in episode 7. I know we didn't get there yet, but I'm just like, this girl lives rent free in your head. And then you want to start crying. Because everybody wants to start crying. Like,
Well, I felt like this. I felt like, I try and put myself in people's shoes. If I'm sitting at the table, I've just been vulnerable to say what was going on with me. And then you kind of take that vulnerable moment. And that's the time you choose to say, that feels like the most genuine you've ever been.
like, excuse me?
I would have had the same face and been like, thank you. Like, am I supposed to be thanking you for that? Like, because how can my mind not think? So this, in essence, is saying, so most other encounters, you felt I was ingenuous. You felt like I was faking it. Why? Especially now.
because that's what
In
she
her
gives off.
defense a little bit, she do be giving fake AB energy.
But
Like,
then
she
when
gives
homegirl
like she's
couldn't
putting
tell
on and
her
being
when she
phony.
lied, she said, when did I lie? When have I not been genuine? And you couldn't give me an answer. So, like, what do you mean? Like, excuse
Yeah,
me?
because I think that was my thing too, which put me more in Team Rosie. So when they're chatting about it, one, why you barging up in my room when I'm having private time talking to my friend? What are you talking about? And I was like, I know what you're talking about. Man down, camera down.
Well, because y'all are still mic'd up, and it sounds like y'all are in there popping shit, the shit you wouldn't say when y'all were all sitting at the table. So I was again
Well, this is
like,
what I did want Rosie to be like, say your piece. Like, say to her, because you're saying the things you're saying, why are you acting? Well, what I didn't like at the table was you have Joellen and, was it Liz or an Alicia, or at least Joellen, like, it's a backhanded, you're accepting that's backhand. And I was well, because it was a backhanded compliment. So you're going to get a shady, like I said, my thing could have been, I would have had a face and everything. Thank you, I guess. But we wouldn't have them
I
problems.
mean, we ain't really seen no genuine moments between them. Like, so
Which is what she ended up saying. Like, we have not had any long conversations. So I think the time in the room was weird because you barge in the room as we're talking. Like, I can have time to decompress with my friend at the table. Like, because to some degree, y'all are trying to like gaslight me. Like, I know the fuck I'm not thinking backwards. Like, no, she started the
Exactly.
backhanded compliment. So you damn right. I'm a giver.
mm,
Thank you, I guess.
the
Like,
table was the time to be honest, and she
But,
sat there, okay,
I
okay,
mean, yes
looked like
and
she was
no. But,
ready to fucking cry.
yeah,
And then
she
when it's
did.
over, you go to the room still mic'd up. And Ashley, I guess, is having your back because you were ready to complain to her. It just feel like she
Yeah,
don't have your back. But it's just
yeah,
like, this is the time for y'all to dish it. You don't dish it, but then y'all go and say all this shit in the room. Like, yes, I do not think they should have barged in the room.
yeah.
But this also could have been avoided had you put it on the table the same way you felt like she was shady and saying that. You should have said what you needed to say.
I
Like,
I
I
mean,
think
don't
that
know.
with her coming in, she couldn't run. So she did kind of face her and say her piece. And I think she did say, like, all right, well, tell me what it is that you feel like I've been fake or lying about exactly. And then the examples you're giving, these are not legitimate excuses or examples because I'm not lying. You just think I'm lying, but I'm telling you the truth. And if it's my truth, you can't tell me I'm lying about my truth. Like, get out of here.
and I also
Okay.
felt with that situation, it was like, no, you not finna do that. It can't do that, and I gotta do. You're not gonna see me sweat. So if I'm sitting there and you telling me, oh, I'm disingenuous, this is not the like out of you. This is the first time I've been genuine. I'd be like, oh, okay, okay. and I would have shut down. And then I would have asked you, well, okay, well, when have I been disingenuous? And you couldn't answer me then. I'm not about to. That's it. That's all. End of discussion. And then I'm gonna talk to my friend and be like, "Girl, can you believe this hoe for saying for that compliment and think that was gonna slide?"
Yeah, but none of that happened. So again, it's
But
just
she did at the
like
dinner table.
I
She
mean, we've
asked
already
her.
seen you cry, so to see you sweat is just kind of like I'm confused. The first time y'all they had that picnic, she was popping that shit about Kelsey, and then started crying when Liz and them said something. So it's just like,
Yeah.
no, stand in what she's saying. But you brought Joella into it. Yes, she might have brought it up, but every time I turn around, you're the one in the confessional. Like I said, saying something slick because you ain't never got the balls to say this shit to this girl face. This was the time to do that, and you didn't. Like,
Yeah.
on a
She's
show like this, these
non-confident.
shows been on too long to
She
keep
is
looking for somebody to have your
non-confrontational.
back. Like this is
Yeah.
Survivor. This is not that. This is not road rules. You need to be able to keep up and read with these ladies. I don't care what season it's on. Like y'all know what this is when y'all coming into these shows. Like
You know what it is
stop
when you
the
signed up.
crying and let's get it together.
That is true.
Like too much
Yeah,
crying.
I think as seasons go, she'll be a little better. I think part of her personality with her being that people pleaser is that I think she did want to say those things, but I think she's always trying to be like too aware of what people think. I would have the I don't give a shit response at this point because you're talking to me crazy. Like I said, my face would have said it all. I would have been like I said, thank you, I guess.
I just if
Well, I'm
we
not
putting it on
thanking
the
you for that.
table, let's
Yeah,
put it
I'm
on
not
the
thanking you for that. You're not getting the thank you for me for you saying this the first time I've been genuine. Like, girl, miss me with
yeah.
it. But that just would be my reaction. Like, you would have got to look like what? Okay. I looked at
Something.
somebody else like, you catching this? You hearing it?
Like you trying to
Okay.
keep the peace, but then need to talk it out with your friend in the room. It's just like, girl, you should have said what you needed to say right then and there.
I mean, cause I
Like,
would have been like, "Bitch, fuck you," and still had something to say back in the room. That's just me.
yeah,
But
like I mean, yeah, that's what
But
I
she's
want. This is
not
what the people want to
saying
see.
something in the room. She's mad that like say it at the table too. Don't just say it in the room.
I get
Yeah,
the
like
So
come on.
non-confrontation, cause she do be fake. But I mean, she can be fake. She can
she
be.
definitely be giving fake. I would
But
give
in that
that.
particular situation, that was a backhanded compliment.
It was definitely. Because yeah, I was like, I would have been like, we was talking about you and how you do you honestly feel your compliment? Because that would have been me with that. You don't feel like that compliment was backhanded? And you said
Right.
to me, well, no, because I'm being genuine. Well, just so you know, it still is not a compliment for you to
No.
tell me that. It would have been nice for you to have said instead, thank you for sharing something so intimate with us. I appreciate it. Or I appreciate you being authentic now, or well, not authentic now still would have came up. Just I would appreciate you being nice, sharing that story with us and left it there. Not and maybe at a later time, like that was the first time like I really felt like I got to know you. Very different from that was the first time you being genuine. Okay, girl, get out of here. So anywho, that was what what I thought for that. And then when that episode ended, it ended with them in the room. And Kelsey to me was like kind of going off a little bit, like you're lying about your house, you're lying about
Yeah, I
how
didn't
you
like
got
it
fired.
Yeah.
either.
Girl, you mad at Casey? Why you mad at her? Because you mad at
They
what's going
just
on with
don't
your
like
life.
each other. The ones that look the most alike, they just got beef with each other, and it's so weird. Like y'all could be sisters. Like y'all need to
Yeah,
check on that honestly, because y'all really look alike.
it was very weird. All right. So then we moved on to episode 7.
Mhm.
And we at the table for breakfast, I believe. So, what's her name? Rosie comes down to the table. You could tell like she looks pale, like she ain't have a good night, and she said it like she was. They could hear her throwing up out of 29 bedrooms. They could still hear her throwing up.
Mm.
She just had so that one nothing but nerves and got her jack. So, but what I didn't understand at the table that had me confused is why was Ashley crying again? This second time Ashley crying at the
Oh
table, and
my
I'm confused. I
goodness.
was like, what? Like hard crying, red face red, and I was like,
Seriously. Like, go
I'm
I know you
on.
confused.
not.
What
I
you
said,
keep
I know
crying
you
for? Are you
not. I
pregnant?
know you not. I know you're not crying
Like,
You
again.
might be
I know you
pregnant,
not for
maybe.
nothing.
Yeah, it was very weird. I was just like, what, huh? And then she said because she's like she just wants her friend to be heard. Now I'm
I
very
understand.
empathetic and passionate. I can't see me crying and you not crying. Now if you
That's what
crying,
I'm
I'm probably
saying.
gonna cry. You not
right.
crying, or you kind of giving a little bit chill, like, or kind of apathetic out of it. But I'm not gonna be so emotional that I'm crying pretty much on your behalf. What?
Yeah.
I was
I
very
was like, girl, I
confused.
told you not. Especially if I'm not crying, you better not cry. Calm down.
At all.
Yes, and then my other thing was Kelsey was like, "Oh, she just has to get used to the RBF." So is it RBF or is she just plain being mean? Do we feel like her behavior is excusable or inexcusable? Kelsey's.
The RBF comment wasn't needed. So,
What's
Yeah.
RBF? What's that?
Resting
resting,
bitch face.
resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah,
She was
that
like,
comment
the
wasn't
resting
needed.
bitch face gets confused. And I was like, no, you're just giving mean girl.
Cause you mean. That's it. You mean.
That's, now, I will say she will stand by what she says. I give her that. Like, she don't back down. If she says something, she'll be like, yeah, I said it. She might not be giving like gangsters vibes like Liz and Alicia sometime will give, but she also is like, I'm not backing down from what I said. Yep, I said that, and that is what I meant. So I give her that, but I was like, you don't get maybe because we're seeing you in your confessionals. I'm seeing you smile and be jovial. I'm not getting resting bitch face. I get it when you're with her. Like
Mm-mm.
you ignore the child when you come to the table. I'm like, that's being intentionally mean. You don't have to be like,
You just
but
shady, and that's
you
okay.
can
It's you
introduce you
just
the whole
shady.
table. Hey y'all. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, girl, no. All right, so then they go on to their activities for the day, and um, would you do that slide that you saw out there?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did
Hell
look pretty
yeah.
fun.
I want one.
You won't. They actually try to take up a lot of space and they're pretty expensive with the generator to have going. That thing was probably like 1,000 to a couple
That
thousand
joint
to
look like
rent,
so
even
much
for a little
fun.
bit.
Oh
But
yeah.
it did look fun though.
Mm-hmm.
So we had skipped ahead for the part with Joellen. That was really episode 7. But anywho, I was like, what did Joellen do? And then she had explained it when they were standing they went for their walk, and that's when we found out about all the stuff with the mom. Um, oh, the other thing. Is it just me, or what's up with Alicia and these crackers? Every 5 to 10 minutes, you got a cracker. I want a cracker. What
She
she
get
probably
high.
want a cracker?
She take edible. She be high. She be high. She be having the munchies all the time.
Taking edibles. That's a good one. She might. Liz a good girlfriend. She might be. I was like, every time she need to get like a cracker deal or something because at least 2 or 3 times per episode, we're gonna
Yeah.
hear about her and somebody cracking. There's no same cracker. It's the pita chips. It's the wheat thins. It's the any kind of cracker this child has to have. It's
No from
very
munchie
peculiar.
snacks.
Mhm.
All right, and I was saying, oh, this was another one. I kind of get Alicia's deal with her dad, but Joellen's is more detrimental. It was a bigger break in trust. I said Alicia has abandonment issues. It sounds like. I said, but so do I. I have abandonment issues I feel like from my dad too. Do y'all feel like y'all have any abandonment issues?
Yeah. Oh,
Tifa,
I do.
So
Cause my dad like to pick
slightly.
and choose when he want to be a dad.
same, very much so, or he mostly choose not to. So
My
yeah,
Mine does too, and try to find every excuse. So it'll be he'll call me and like recently, I had to block him because he pissed me off. He had pissed me off, so he irritated me. But he had called me because his fiance follows me on Facebook. Love her to death,
yeah,
sweet lady. But she
yeah.
likes my stuff, and she saw that I was doing a fundraiser for the hair show that I just did. And
Oh,
so she
okay.
was like, my dad was like, well, you got a big fan over here. She watches your stuff, da 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 da. And she told me to call you. I said, oh, so she had to tell you to call me to no, like, mm-mm. And I ain't talked to you in
Exactly.
years. Last time I talked to you was in years.
Yeah. He needed to have said that. Like, he could have been like, oh, she told me about it, and I thought, oh, I need to contact you, but he didn't even have enough wherewithal to lie about it. But yeah, similar. It's just a lack of interest, which I feel like is probably what Alicia is like she said, when you think about you being a parent, you really get a different bird's eye view of like, I just really don't understand now. Like I didn't understand it as a kid. But I definitely don't understand it now that I'm a parent. How could you do that to your child? Like
Right.
you gonna say you come and get them and you don't multiple times. You're gonna say you're gonna do something and you won't. And to be on the receiving end of that is definitely it. Thankfully, I would say I can't tell in any ways it's manifested per se in relationships. Thankfully, that I don't feel like it's been any detriment in that way. Thank God. But it's still an acknowledgement that no, there is somewhere in there that I have these issues with you, just like feeling like the relationship you have with me is something you could throw away. Thankfully, I
Mm-hmm.
had an awesome mother and I have an awesome step parent who has instilled like, no, you are very valuable, and like that's their loss. But if I didn't have that, then I could see where it would affect my self-worth, because how can I feel worthy if this other half of the person who helped make me feels like they don't care enough to worry about me at all?
Right.
So definitely, I would say, I guess that's where the issue can come up. If there's ever any self doubt about, am I good enough for stuff? That might be where it comes in. I am an overachiever, so that might have a lot to do with me being an overachiever. Is I want to be good enough, I guess, so that you stay around. So,
Yeah.
but it worked out because being an overachiever has been quite helpful for my life. So I don't mind it. All right. So then we went on to they call ruler. And surprise, surprise, child, ruler sick again.
She ain't sick for real.
At all. She
She
ain't trying to
ain't
leave
sick
that
for
man.
real.
No. Because she already know
Said
what's finna happen.
that part. I said she's sick, but she's just trying to drag it.
She trying to
But
keep that man up
stress
in
will
there.
do that to you. Stress over this man who is he cheating on you or not. So she might have actually felt sick, but it didn't mean it was an actual sickness. Now, as a medical professional, we have had people who've had body aches and chills and all of these things, and we don't know why you have it, but you do have something. It don't mean stress and anxiety ain't why you have it, which I think is the case for her. Either anxiety about going and being with them girls, or stress about this husband of hers who is doing way too much. And being all in the camera, I'd have not agreed to be on camera if I was him, if I know I'm doing this shiggity behind her back. But anyway, um, oh, I was saying, how do you feel Liz was? Do you feel like she's been kind of a little bratty when she kind of just went upstairs all like quick and was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to be flirting with guys and going down the slide. That's for these like young people to do. Now, I'm not 56. So maybe my 40 something makes me feel like I would have been down the slide with you. Now I'm not going to flirt with the guys because they're not my taste, but I know how to still be friendly and not be rude.
Yeah, like she could have
Yeah.
went down there and had a drink with them. Like it won't like you ain't have to do all of that. Like the slide ain't for
I mean, she was
everybody,
down
but
there
you ain't
for
have
a
to be
while, but
up
I
there
guess
like
it wasn't
that.
her vibe no more. What about you? Would you have hung around Tifa, or you'd have been like, because Tifa would dip out real quick when it ain't her thing no more. She'd be like, I'm out, catch y'all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really need to explain anything. It was a lot though. Like, girl, we see the age difference. Like, it's okay. Like,
Yeah. Because I felt like she kind of I won't say through a fit, but a little bit upset. Like, well, I mean, they're 20 something, but they can't help it. They're that much younger than you. That's what you knew when you signed up that you
You
was
know
going
what
to
you
be
signed
the
up for.
whole chick of
Right.
the group. And you mostly give young vibes. So, like, it's okay. But I guess this situation, like, I don't know why you just felt like, I don't want to go down the slide. Why? You small, so it ain't like your bones should be crickety or anything. So I just didn't get what that was about. All right. Have any of you ever been on a sunset cruise?
Nah,
You
I ain't
said
been
a
on a
what?
cruise, period.
On a sunset cruise, she took them on the catamaran so they could do a sunset cruise.
Oh, no, I've been on a regular cruise.
That is my favorite. I love a sunset cruise. It is so good. So anytime you are somewhere, especially if it's tropical or even Miami, go on a sunset cruise. There's something about just being on a catamaran because then you can sit on the netted part and see the sun setting. My first experience with that was 2005, I think, with it. And then we did an Aruba too. I'm pretty sure that's how my oldest got here from a sunset cruise. Because it had free
Yeah, I
drinks
haven't been
too.
on
They were
one of them
flowing.
before.
Now, the thing with that same cruise is poor Ashley, she needed to cry now. Found out her baby who was been sick. The dad, who's a doctor, then came in and said, oh, he needs to go to the ER. Have you ever had it where like your kid has or loved one has been sick like that when you've been out of town?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Thankfully, me neither. I was like, I would be freaking out. Thankfully, I think they're only like 30 minutes from their house staying in Newport and not far. But I was just like, I would feel so bad now. I would feel a smidge comforted if Vince was at least there. But if Vince and I were away and they were sick, I would feel like poo. Because it would make me feel like I'm not being a good parent. Because how dare I be on vacation and you're sick? Like, I would feel so bad. So I'm grateful that that has not happened. But I was like, yeah, I would have been definitely freaking out. But I mean, she could be a little comforted. Oh no, because the dad wasn't there either. So that probably was playing into it. So the grandparents, but very capable grandparents,
Right.
had them. But yeah, to go to the ER, I was like, ugh, that sucks. Okay, so the episode ends with Joellen getting the proof, that ruler. So I said, how would you feel if you got the proof your friend said they wanted, meaning ruler, of the cheating? Would you show it only to the friend who needed the proof, or would you show it at least to one mutual friend to get their advice with, like, should I share this or not? Like, what would you do if you were in Joellen's shoes?
Well, I was like, my thing is, you should have just sent it to the friend. Like you showed it to one person. When showed it to one person is okay. Okay, that's a little pushing it. But then you show it to the whole group. That should have went to homegirl first, and then go. Look what I just sent to was to Ruler. Like look what like it would have been something like that. But Ruler would have been the first person I sent it to. Now once I sent it, everybody else get to look at that. If you see it, that's on you. But I sent it then. They just got to see it 5 seconds later.
Yeah. How about you, Tifa?
Um, all the girls, like I said, it seems like the whole town knows that the husband is cheating. I think they're friends. They are not friends like that where I owe you that loyalty. Is pretty much where I stand with that. Because I've already tried to tell you something one time.
Yeah.
You already got given the major pushback. So no, I'm gonna have some backup for the proof first, and then you can see it. Because you could have seen it had you had been here. But again, you too busy
True.
chasing that man. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah,
So
so I'm kind of with DJ in that I would have probably shown it at least to one friend. So if we was on a girl trip, I'd have been like, yo, like, she said she wanted me to get proof. Like, check this out. Like, all right, you think I should show her? Like, when should I say it? How should I say it? Like, I would get advice with that, especially like you said, it don't seem like they cool enough for it to be like expected, but they're cool enough where if I'm telling you I'm going to share with you, like I should share, I would not have shown the rest of the group before I had shown her. So I would have told them, obviously she couldn't hide it on her face that like, I have this news that I need to share, but I would not have shown the whole group first. Like I said, I would have shown one, max two people, like whoever was in my immediate vicinity, right? So like if I come out and there was two of you or one of you, I would have showed you and, gotten your advice. Like, you think I should send it to her now? Should I call her, share a screen? Like, how do you think I should share? And it would have been more in that way of getting some advice on like, how should I break it to her? Because you have been there to see how she has taken it when I have said stuff before. And I don't
Right.
want to be arguing with this girl about it. But if she says she wanted proof, and I'm like, here's said proof that you want. And then in that moment to share, like, hey, I shared it because obviously if you're on the video call with me, I shared it with them to get advice, so she's not feeling like I told everyone. Once you showed everyone, now it's feeling like how you kind of let me be the last to know. So, but I get your point, too, for being like, well, I want to back up because the last time I showed you something, you act like I was lying. And now y'all see,
But I would
I'm
just send
not the
it to her.
liar here. Huh?
I would have just sent it to her. I would have sent it exactly how she got it. Is how I would have sent it to her. Bitch, look at this.
I feel like it's so sensitive. I don't know if I would have just sent it personally. But yeah.
I would have been like,
All
"You
right.
wanted proof? Here's proof. It's a video. What else? I can't. Am I
Well,
lying
that was
now?
my last question that I was going to end with. How would you share the tea? So you would just send it to her. What would you do, Tifa? Wait and show her
I
in
would show it to
person?
her,
Or?
but I wouldn't send it. Y'all already tried to get me fired. You will not have proof that I sent you this goddamn video. But I would have showed her my phone, like, see, like,
Got you.
I'm not trying to
Okay.
be funny, girl, like, but yeah, I wouldn't have sent it to her, you know.
Yeah, I think I would have been like, maybe go over there when we get back from the trip. Maybe her and Liz, or her, one of the people that Rule is cool with. Like, we checking on you, but also like while we were on the trip, unfortunately, I got this information, and like you said, shared it. I think it's too sensitive. I wouldn't have wanted um, to send it to her too. But yeah, I kind of get where you're like, well, just send it to her, but I wouldn't want to just look on my phone and be like, what the is this? Like, yeah, it needs a little explanation, I feel. Then I'm showing you as I'm looking, and then you can say, well, can you send that to me? I sure can. Because now you've
Yeah,
asked me. Because then after
I'm a screen
retrospect, you can't be
record it.
saying, oh, you just send it to me. You said what?
I would screen recorded it. Like, look what this girl
Mhm.
sent me. To show you I'm not lying. This is the contact. Did you see the girl on the face on up icon up there? You see her? You see she sent this to me? Look at this. This our text thread here. What proof? What else proof do you need?
I think she needs to walk in and see them chat. That's what it feel like Miss Ruler needs. So we gonna find
Yeah.
out. All righty. Well, that episode had definitely a lot going on. Um, I don't know if there was no MVPs or anything I thought for this episode. Um, yeah, because it was kind of a lot going on. Do y'all feel like there was somebody who carried the episode?
I think they was bringing it. This all of them was bringing it. They all it was a team effort. There's no I in team. They very much they shared the weight this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
same.
Yeah, if I had to say who was I don't want to say the butt of the episode, but the jester, since we had a jester, the jester of the episode was Ashley. Girl, if you don't cut all this crying out, we don't want no more, except the one time when it was applicable, when your son was sick and you had to go last minute. That was
Yeah.
understandable. Those were the only tears across these two episodes that we understood. All the rest was confusing. So she the jester of the episode.
She was. I mean, it worked for being a friend, and I felt like she took her that you don't take up for me too seriously. So I felt like, okay, like you could take it down a couple notches, but
Pull
I
it
feel
back
like she
some.
tried. Like that
She
she
need to
was
find a
she
happy medium.
Yeah.
That part. Yeah.
She tried.
All right. Do you have any closing remarks, Tifa?
No.
No. All right. Do you have anything else to share, DJ?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, I'm Aoife. We're going to close out this episode. So please like, subscribe, and share. We want to get as many people getting into this tea that we're sharing. Next week, we'll be going over episode 8 of Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So meet us here on Wednesdays for more. Bye now.
Bye.